All right, we're on live. All right. All right, let's go.
The root of all desires is the one desire to come home, to be at peace. If the ego is in the slightest way separated from its source, it yearns to find it again. This search comes from the remembrance of unity and plenitude. As every experience emanates from the non-experience, which is our real being, the me also bears a scent of its source. This remembering is awakened through those moments of desirelessness and in deep sleep. We are completely unaware of our true nature because we identify ourselves with our body, our emotions, and our thoughts, thus losing sight of our unchanging center, which is pure consciousness. When we return to our true nature, our thoughts and perceptions no longer appear as modifications of a single substance. They come into being and subside like waves of the ocean. Our surroundings are not contained by name and form. You are neither the body nor the mind. These are limits you identify with through a lack of clear-sightedness. When you are attentive to a tree or flower, the perception, shape, name, and concept are not the only things present. There is also the all-presence that you share with them and that you are both part of. The very name and form spring forth from this eternal background, the all-presence. This is instantaneous awareness that cannot be reached by thought. Free yourself from all beliefs, all norms. See that you live completely with beliefs. Free yourself from second-hand information. See in you clearly what is beautiful. All that is beautiful in you is right. Look at the situation with an open mind, free from hearsay. The solution is in the situation. So see the situation clearly with an open mind. Then the choiceless decision comes. It is like being in the desert. At first you listen to the absence of sounds and call it silence. Then suddenly you may be taken by the presence of stillness, where you are one with listening itself. To identify yourself with your personality is more or less a reflex. You must see, when the reflex comes up, that it is a kind of feeling of insecurity. You are looking for a hold. Nothing that can be known has existence in itself. It depends on a knower. The knower is consciousness. The human form is a microcosm of the universe. All that supposedly exists outside us, in reality exists in us. The world is in you and can become known in you, as you. First, we must see that we cannot will ourselves to be open, because openness is our very nature. Any tiny residue of willing, of wanting to be open, takes us away from what we are. Willing never goes beyond willing. So the only way to be free from this circle is to glimpse the truth that openness is the egoless state that is here and now. You are primal awareness. Life is only primal awareness. Between two thoughts or two perceptions, you are. You know moments in your life when a thought completely disappears into silence, but still, you are. In listening and stillness, there is no body who is still. And this stillness doesn't refer to any object. It is absolutely objectless. It is our real nature. We must investigate, get to know ourselves, what we generally understand to be our body and psyche. Most of the time we live in reaction and double reaction. For example, when we react in anger, we may also try to remain calm and collected. We try many different escape routes. By such means, we constantly limit our possibilities and turn in a vicious circle. The only way out is to simply observe. This allows us to take note of our physical reactions, our mental attitudes and patterns, and our motivations at the exact moment they appear. It involves no evaluation, no analysis, which is based on memory. At first, the observer might find it difficult to be impersonal, to free themselves from evaluating. One tends to emphasize the object and thus become its accomplice. Later, however, observing itself is emphasized and becomes more natural, more frequent. There comes a time when a neutrality installs itself between the observer and what they observe, and both poles lose their driving force. There is silence. We no longer nourish the conditioned object. At certain moments, when alone, we feel a great lack deep within ourselves. This lack is the central one, giving rise to all others. The need to fill this lack, quench this thirst, urges us to think and act. Without even questioning it, we run away from this insufficiency. We try to fill it first with one object, then with another. Then, disappointed, we go from one compensation to another, from failure to failure, from one source of suffering to another, from one war to another. This is the destiny to which a large part of humanity devotes itself. Some resign themselves to this state of being, which they judge to be inevitable. Others, at first deluded by the satisfaction brought about by these objects, come to realize that they give rise to a surfeit and even to indifference. Some are brought to take a closer look. The object fully satisfies us for a short time, during which we are back in our intrinsic nature, fulfillment. At the moment of fullness, there is no awareness of an object. Thus, the object cannot be the cause of our experience. It is essential come to know these moments of joy without object. We habitually attribute a cause to joy. We turn joy into an object because memory links the two together. But in reality, they are of two entirely different natures. Thus we realize that the object is consumed in the joy of our being. It is only through silent awareness that our physical and mental nature can change. This change is completely spontaneous. If we make an effort to change, we do no more than shift our attention from one level, from one thing, to another. We remain in a vicious circle. This only transfers energy from one point to another. It still leaves us oscillating between suffering and pleasure, each leading inevitably back to the other. Only living stillness, stillness without someone trying to be still, is capable of undoing the conditioning our biological, emotional, and psychological nature has undergone. There is no controller, no selector, no personality making choices. In choiceless living, the situation is given the freedom to unfold. You do not grasp one aspect over another, for there is nobody to grasp. When you understand something and live it without being stuck to the formulation, what you have understood dissolves in your openness. In this silence, change takes place of its own accord. The problem is resolved and duality ends. You are left in your glory, where no one has understood, and nothing has been understood. All our senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, have been channeled or dispersed towards personal defense and aggression, used as tools to maintain the person. But liberation does not concern the person. The liberation is freedom from the person. Basically, the disciple and the teacher are identical. Both are the timeless axis of all action and perception. The only difference is that one knows himself for what they are, while the other does not. The personality is nothing other than a projection, a habit created by memory and nourished by desire. Ask yourself the question, who am I? And lucidly observe that the questioner, the thinker, doer, sufferer, are all forms that appear and disappear within the consciousness of I am, the ever-living background. They have no reality in themselves. What we call the person is due to a mistake. Thoughts, feelings, and actions appear and disappear indefinitely, creating an illusion of continuity. The idea of being a person, an ego, is nothing other than an image held together by memory. To free yourself from mental confusion, simply be aware of it. Observe how you function without the slightest idea of changing anything. Vigilance purifies the mind, and sooner or later will place you knowingly beyond it. You encounter ups and downs in your search for the self because you do not yet see things in their true perspective as a whole. This instability will continue just as long as you consider yourself as the body and mind. The mind will lead you astray until you perceive its true nature. This insight is the result of listening, free from the past. Live with the sayings of the teacher and the reminders of truth these awaken. These unspoken reminders are the perfume of that to which they refer. Attune yourself to this stillness and not with what you are not. Why identify with the world? All existence is an expression of consciousness. What you are fundamentally is without cause, is completely autonomous. So that taking yourself for an individual doer who lives in a world of choice is an illusion of the ego. You must turn to this impersonal background as often as the opportunity beckons. Take note that your attention is constantly turned either towards objects or to ideas. A sense of being without qualification is completely unknown to you. Become the spectator. Become aware of the natural flow of life, your motives, actions, and what results from them. Observe the walls you have built around yourself. As you become more aware of your body and mind, you will come to know yourself. As this image of things as you believe them to be subsides, you will have a clear insight of what you are, something quite other than a product of the mind. You will gradually feel less and less involved in whatever comes up And one day you will discover yourself to be in the perceiving. Once you free yourself from the idea, I am my body, and the consequences of this idea, you will awaken to your natural state of being. Give yourself up entirely to this discovery.
So, we just sat here silently just to give way to the truth and what already is, that prior to speaking, to acting, to doing, first there is silence. When there is no speaking, no doing, no action, there is only silence. Where does the silence go when there is speaking, when there is doing? And does the silence come? Does the silence wait for the speaking and the doing to end, to come? Or is perhaps silence the absence of speaking and doing? So, why am I sharing this with you? Why am I even here? I'm sharing this because I feel that every human being can relate to the experience that nothing we experience stays the same forever. Whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, every emotion, every way of thinking, every belief, our desires, our goals, what we wish for ourselves, what we think about ourselves, what we think about the world, all of that, all of that changes. It is never ever the same. And even if you want to keep it the same, it seems to leave you. And perhaps you can relate to the experience of searching and wanting happiness for as long as you can have it. If you could have it your way, you'd be happy all the time, right? But whoever you are watching this, whether you're 20-year old, 60-year old, you've been living life, experiencing different kinds of pleasures to fulfill something you feel may make you happy. And perhaps whatever you feel, you label it as happiness, and you do more of that. But eventually you find that even it can no longer satisfy you. Now you're hungry again. You're looking for something else to satisfy you. And you've collected so many things over the years to satisfy yourself, to make yourself happy, to be excited, to wake up and full of energy and joy. But all of them, all of the things that you've done, all of the things that you've done has led you back here again. Back here begging for something else to satisfy you. And now you're looking for something else. You have a goal, maybe a 5 year, 10-year goal. And you say, well, if I could reach there, if I could simply get to here, if I could just pay my bills next month, if I could just make 100K next month, if I could just find a wife next month, if I could just have and find, you're always seeking something, something that you claim that if you get it will quench your thirst. But how long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing this? This searching, this looking, this restlessness, this dissatisfaction that has ruled your life since you were born. Think about the next thing you're about to do. Are you doing it from satisfaction or the sense of lack or dissatisfaction? And I like that question because it brings me to another fundamental question. How can one bring rise to a desire? How is it possible for one to bring desire out of oneself? For one to desire something? What has to happen for one to say, I want this, I want to go do that, I want $1 million, I want to get here, I want to achieve this, I want to go eat something right now. I want something. I want to go be with my wife, my children. I need to go to work. I need to go save the world. I need to do something. What has to be there first for any of those statements to arise? Really, just look inside of you. Think, see, and think about something that you want and desire right now. And really look within you, from where is this desire coming from? Like, what is the state of yourself that you find that you even want or need this? What is there first? Who are you? If you investigate further, you realize that first, I have to feel and be in a state of lack, a sense of just something is missing right now. Something is not complete right now. Something is not total right now. Something is just, I'm not fully topped off yet. So I need more. I don't have enough right now, so I need more. Right? To feel like I need more, first there must be the sense that I do not have enough first. Because let's say I'm like, wow, whoa, I'm fully abundant. I have everything I need. Man, I'm just so overwhelmed by just all that I have and am. Like, can the sense of I want more arise from this state of fully satisfied? Can you be totally satisfied and want something? Can you, like, I'm just so, I'm just so satisfied right now. Just so, hmm, just so, I'm just so satisfied right now that, I can sit here forever and there's no need for me to get up, for there's nothing more for me to have. Why do we want to be happy? We want to be happy because we feel we lack something. And that is the source of our seeking and desire for happiness. I'm not quite sure if whoever is watching right now can really come to the place of quietude within yourself where this that I am speaking of can clearly be seen, because I may share gold with you, but if you are unable to see that it is gold, then it will not be of use to you. As the Hermetic saying goes, the words of wisdom are sealed. They're sealed to everyone except to those who have the heart of understanding. This doesn't mean that a secret is being kept away from you, but rather your lack of clarity is keeping what is obvious away from you. Who wants to find out the truth? And when I typically ask a question like this, people say, well, The truth about what? The truth about what? The truth is not about anything. The truth stands alone. It stands by itself. It stands and is self radiant. It does not need the support of something else. It does not need the agreement of anything. You either know it or you do not. The truth is prior to anything that can be about anything. So, no, I cannot tell you the truth about anything, but I can show you the truth itself. Is someone keeping the truth from us? Does the government have the truth? I know there's Area 51, but does the government have the ability to seal and keep the truth from us? My answer is absolutely not. No one can keep the truth from you. They can keep the truth about something from you. They may say, well, let's keep the truth that there's aliens away from you. But would that be the truth? Would that, let's say you did discover that there are aliens, like, how would that change your life? How would that change the clarity and level of consciousness which you approach your life with? So, no, no one is keeping the truth from you. They may keep the truth about something, but the truth isn't about something, it stands alone. You see, imagine you were born and society and the government, your parents worked very, very hard to keep the truth that the sun exists away from you. And so from birth, they kept you in darkness, never allowed you to go outside, turned off all the lights, or at least you didn't know of any lights. All you knew was darkness. But how were they able to do that? Did they just kidnap the sun and now you don't know what the sun is? Are they able to keep away the sun from you, really? Or do they have a hold on you? Have they orchestrated an illusion to make you believe that all there is darkness? And one day you're sitting and laying down and you look out and you see a glimpse of light just coming through the window. And this glimpse of light, though all you've seen is darkness, this glimpse of light, you just can't forget it. You can't unsee what you've seen. It was just a glimpse, but you wonder, is there something out there? Is there a light out there? And you want to look deeper into it to find and see the truth of whether all there is this darkness. And that is the birth of spirituality. Spirituality is the path of finding the truth, the way things actually are. Not my truth, not your truth, not the president's or anyone's truth, not any religion's truth, but the truth as it is on its own, without our support. But what it is, the truth is freeing. However, it is also scary. Why is it scary? Because it asks you to change your ways. And you like your ways. You love your ways. And so that is where religion and spirituality has come into play to provide you an avenue and allow you to slowly let go of your hold on your ways and follow God's ways. So, thank you for joining. I'll stop here. Next, I really want to go into how to actually and really come to the truth. We're not going to think here. We're not going to develop more ideas, more beliefs, more concepts, more behaviors. We're going to discover what the truth is when you remove all concepts, beliefs, behaviors, and thoughts about what it is. And I am going to guide you, for I've been guided through this path and I've walked. And I will simply ask you to walk and come to the place of truth for yourself. So when you see it, you can say, yes, indeed, I see the truth as it stands alone, like you speak of. You know, in the Bible, Jesus says, taste, taste, and see that the Lord is good. You know, he isn't saying, well, you know, let me tell you what I think. Okay, the Lord is good, all right? But he's saying, no, here, taste it. Oh, it's good, right? Meaning that you taste it and you should, not that you should, but if you find it to be, you'll find it to be good because it is your own experience. So if I say, for example, I have this peach here and it's the most delicious peach I've ever had, and I think there's nothing that compares it to any other peach out there, right? It's very, very good. And you say, well, I don't believe you, well, and I say, well, here, taste, right? And see for yourself, right? If it's bad, then I guess maybe it was just my opinion then, right? But the fruit is not going to change its taste from me to you. It will remain the same. So taste for yourself and come to know this fruit for yourself and know the truth of it. I don't want to convince you of anything. I simply want you to taste for yourself. Thank you.